Hey nonprofits, this is Ani here with Kitsap Community Foundation, and today I'm going to give you a brief tutorial on how to register for the Kitsap Great Give. Whether you're a returning nonprofit or a new nonprofit, either way, you still have to register to participate. So the first thing you're going to do is go here, kitsapgreatgive.org. You're going to scroll down and see a couple of different options: newbie registration, returning nonprofit registration, and you're returning but forgot your login info. I'm going to go through the returning nonprofit stuff first because it'll be super fast, and then I'll go back and do a newbie walkthrough and talk in detail about some of the questions that it's going to be important for you to answer and some that may be confusing. If you want a detailed review and you're returning, just stick around for the newbie part. Otherwise, you'll be done with, you can close out the video super fast and get on with life. So let's get started. Say you're returning but you forgot your info. So you're going to click that bottom button. This is your profile lookup. You can do organization name, EIN, or email. I'm going to do organization name, and my nonprofit is Kitsap Community Foundation. So who is our login person? There it is. It's Shane. So if you are in a position where the person with this email is no longer with your organization, don't bother clicking this button, because this button is going to send this email, this email address and email to update your login. Well, if they're no longer with your organization, that's not going to help you. So in that case, just call this number, our main line, 360-698-3622, and we will get you situated with new login information. But if this email address does belong to one of your people, then just click this button and they will get an email telling them to go ahead and update the login information, and you're ready to roll. Now, let's go back. Say you're a returning nonprofit and you know your login info. You just click this button and you're going to come here to the old familiar login page. And so I'm going to take you through registering for a nonprofit that is returning. Let me make sure I do this right. Okay, there you go. So this takes you to your same old page that you had before. Now, as long as all the required information is filled out with an asterisk, then you can just click Save Changes and you are re-registered. So this nonprofit is all filled out, everything. I'm scrolling through, looks like they've got everything. Their operating budget, all that stuff's in there. Now, they don't have these boxes filled out, but they're not required. We recommend you do all of them, but you don't have to. So see, they don't have pictures in there or anything. So none of this stuff's filled out, but that's not required. So this nonprofit could still just click Save Changes and say, oh, well, I'm just going to come back and upload the pictures later. Totally fine. And here it is. The registration was successful. So if you have all the required fields filled in, you do not have to update your profile right away. If you're pressed for time, you can just go on in there, click Save, and it's fine. If you do not see this, you did not register. You have to see the registration was successful or it did not work, and it'll bump you back and say a required field was missing. So it won't give you this. Okay, so that's all it is. Go in, make sure the asterisks are done, and you're registered. Pretty straightforward. Now, what if you're brand new? Then you just click this. It's going to take you to a page that looks very similar to the one we were just at, except nothing's filled in. So I'm going to go through this just a little bit with you so you can see what you need to fill in and what we're asking for. All these words right here seem like, oh man, I don't want to read all the words, but I encourage you to definitely read all the words. Especially here, like in step 3, it's telling you what we're looking for to approve your registration, to approve you participating. So just because you register doesn't mean that you're going to show up right away as registered, because we still have to do our due diligence and we have to go through and verify all these things, your 501c3 status and your Secretary of State Charities Division. And I'm going to talk in detail about that in a minute and show you where to get that if you don't know what this means. Okay, so read all the words and then start going through. When you fill in your contact name, don't put, some people make the mistake of thinking, oh, well, I should put my executive director, my development director. If that person is not the person that is boots on the ground, organizing all the volunteers, going to make everything work, don't put that person's name and email in, because they're going to be getting these emails and you're going to go, well, what the heck? How come I'm not getting any updates about the Great Give? This is why. Make sure that you have the correct emails in here for the person that is the actual person doing all the work for the Great Give. Okay. Mission statement, we recommend 100 words or less, definitely. And that's because this will be on your profile page. So I'll just step away for a minute. When people come to the Kitsap Great Give website and all of the registration is complete, there'll be a link up here that shows all the nonprofits. They can drop down and they can start researching which nonprofits are participating, and you will have your own page. If you put like a 500-word article, the odds of them reading that on your profile page are slim. So we really encourage, keep the mission statement 100 words or less. Okay. Then your EIN, so that's your tax ID number, website, email, all that stuff. Your annual operating budget. This here is important for prizes. If you have an annual operating budget of below $100,000, then you are qualified as a small nonprofit for prizes. And if your annual operating budget is above $100,000, then you are a large nonprofit. And so as we get closer and you look at all the different prizes that we have on the day of the event, that's what this will impact. Matching funds available. So if your nonprofit has donors that want to create a matching fund that is in addition to the one we provide, that's what goes here. So you do not have to worry about, oh my gosh, what's the matching fund that the community foundation came up with? Is that what I put here? That isn't what you put here. That's something different. This is something different. And we'll cover that in our trainings. So if you don't know what I'm talking about right now and you're still confused, don't worry about it. You don't have to put anything in there. Categories, you can only pick one category. We tried to change that, but we can't change it. Again, we really recommend 250 words. We really recommend sticking to the word limit. Now, is your organization required to file an annual charitable solicitations registration with Washington Secretary of State? If so, what is that number? If you're reading this and going, I don't know what that means, what are you talking about? Here's where you need to go. To this website, the Secretary of State corporations. Now this looks very different. If you're a returning nonprofit and you haven't been here in a while, they redid their whole website. It works the same, but the concept's the same, but just the site, it will be surprisingly different. Click this big green thing, your filing system. Okay, if you do not have a user account, or you don't know if you have a user account and you don't even know if your nonprofit's in here, scroll right on down here where it says charity search. And I'm going to search by organization name, and I'm just going to look up Kitsap Community Foundation. Okay, are we in here? Oh, there we are. So if your nonprofit's name pops up here, yep, you're registered and you're good to go, and you can get this number and put it in your registration. So just click your nonprofit, and this is your registration number right here. Registration number. We do not want this number. We do not want this number. We want that number. Your registration with the state. So you're going to take that number right there, and you are going to pop it in right here. And that is what we're looking for. If you do not find your name and you cannot get this number, then you need to find out if you have to register and go ahead and get that done, because that is a requirement to participate. So that's the number we're talking about. Another thing I want to point out here is in 10 words or less, describe what your organization does. This is important because one of our really amazing media sponsors, Sound Publishing, puts out an insert into every single local newspaper that has a listing of all the nonprofits participating in the Kitsap Great Give. And in that listing, you have 10 words to describe what your organization does. I will have a tutorial later on as we get closer to the advertising window that explains all about the insert, and if you want to buy an ad, they will sell you an ad at a reduced cost. But if it's not in your budget to buy an ad, that's okay. You are still listed for free. You still get your 10 words or less. If you make a 25-word description, it will be truncated. So try and keep it to 10 words, and then you can have it all show up there in all the local newspapers, not the Kitsap Sun, but all the local sound publishing newspapers. So like Port Orchard Independent and papers like that. We'll be doing a lot of advertising in the Sun too, but they just have a different deal. Okay. Let's see. Mailing address. So it says street address right here, and we've asked the platform, can we please specify, but for some reason it doesn't ever change. So it says street address, but unless you actually receive mail at your street address, do not put the street address. Use your P.O. box. It won't bump you out and say, oh, that's not an acceptable address. You can go ahead and put P.O. box in there. Just make sure that it's absolutely your mailing address. You want to put in as many of these as you can. These will all show up on your profile page, so that as the public is hearing about the Great Give during our advertising and going and checking out and researching nonprofits, they can find out more about you. 5 megabyte limit to your pictures. If you can't get your pictures to upload, or they're upside down or something crazy is going on, just feel free to call me, Ani, and I'll get you sorted out. Click agreement, save and submit, and then you're done. That's it. And there's even a place to give us a note. There's a new question in here this year. This one, that's what I'm looking for. Would you like to learn more about the nonprofit training opportunities offered by Kitsap Center for Nonprofit Excellence? And that's called KCNE, and that's a center that the foundation runs that provides really high quality trainings for nonprofits. So if you want to hear more about that, let us know. We'd be happy to put you on the mailing list. We have an awesome lineup this year, and we're doing a membership special in January and February. So you can, if you don't have membership, you can get discounts if you sign up in January. And I think it ends in February 1st. So you can check that out there. And that's it. You fill out the form and you're done. And if anything is confusing, or you're just not confident that you can do it and you want somebody to help you out, please always feel free to give us a call. We would be happy to help you. So thanks for tuning in, and we will see you soon. Good luck in the Kitsap Great Give.